Let me back out for a moment. Let's see. Yep. Trying to make sure that I kind of get out of here. Have a busy day in front of me. Hello, you guys. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Name is Jonathan Roberts. This is the American Autobahn. If you've been on here before, basically you know what's going on. But if you basically haven't, welcome to the channel. Basically today we're going to be getting into details of a few things. I wanted to kind of take a break from the traffic situation today. Kind of get into talking about a lot regarding for basically new models going in. If you're like me, a Mercedes-Benz fan, basically you would already know that Mercedes has a few new vehicles coming into the market pretty soon. I do keep up with the schedule a lot, so right now is about the time for the new S-Class to go in. Hold on, it's a little, thank you. A little difficult getting through here. They're doing some modifications around my living quarters, so got to be very, very careful where I go. It makes things a little bit kind of difficult at the moment. So gotta get through here. Sorry about that. But yeah, basically, Mercedes has now already launched the new CLS. It should be here sometime later this fall. I'm pretty sure, with the AMG probably following suit probably sometime next year. And basically also the new S-Class, the 2021 Mercedes-Benz S-Class is to be coming out. And man, there basically have been rumor shots and basically new looks of thoughts of basically what the car is probably going to be looking like. And there are some rumors going around saying that the diamond shaped grille that's basically on the car that I'm driving right now will no longer exist on the car. That's basically stunning, but at the same time, Mercedes knows how to basically trick the entire luxury market better than anybody else. And it's always because of that Mercedes is always at the top of their game every single time. It's why I actually love them as the only manufacturer out there that can do stuff and do it right. And they do it right most of the time, and mainly all the time. So this has got to be an idea for me to see. The rumors about the new S-Class, of course, goes far beyond what people are probably expecting to see. For starters, there are rumors going around saying that the new S-Class, for starters, if anybody already has known about the AMG GT, cars like the AMG GT, you know about the AMG GT, the certain other vehicles that basically have the Pan American shaped grille, like the C-Class, the Geländewagen, which is the G-Wagon, by the way. People already know the diamond grille has been turned mainly upside down to give it more of a sportier stance. This is basically due to the fact that Mercedes is basically kind of trying to attract younger people into the market, the luxury market, a little bit more. And with this, they are doing a very good job at it. And it's because of this that they decided to actually do an ultimate turn, and instead of using the same Pan American grille like they did on the AMG models, they are going all out and trying now to put that same look on the S-Class. But everyone knows the S-Class has the traditional avant-garde grille. So the avant-garde grille, imagine the avant-garde grille for the first time upside down, with the whole Pan American symbols, just the simplicity of basically how that shape looks on that car. Imagine it looked upside down, and basically with that same look that we've all seen for many years that Mercedes-Benz is known for the avant-garde grille. That is the idea of what they're doing for the front. And the lights are basically also getting that same modification, also rendering just like the AMG GT as well. So basically they're completely modifying out the car entirely, and this is amazing. But that's not the only thing that they're doing. There's also been rumors also going around, but it's probably not a rumor due to the fact that basically it's actually, we've also got photo leaks, that Mercedes has now added a larger screen. And everyone knows they already had a larger screen on the previous models that they already had before. We already know this. They've had larger screens on the car from the get-go when they did the redesign in 2014. So when they did the redesign in 2014, they already had a large screen. This screen is rumored to be larger than the one that they already have out now. And judging from the looks, it looks like they're competing with the looks of Tesla and Audi, because the way this screen is set up looks similar to what the Audi layout is, almost, but it's their own configuration of how they designed it, and basically competes with basically the larger screen that Tesla had on their car. But that's not basically the tidbit of basically what is really going on in the market as far as what they're planning to doing for this car in production for the upcoming next year, when it's released. And it's not going to most likely be out until probably in the auto show sometime this year, maybe. And it probably won't be rendered into the production market until sometime maybe following in the 2020 time, around maybe the same time as probably around the fall of next year, not this year. The CLS is most likely going to be coming out this year. But these are rumors that I'm basically going on, basically just thinking out of the top of my head. Because I'm so used to Mercedes-Benz's schedule. Usually every 7 years they do a redesign on a brand new car. And within those 7 years, they always usually do an update on the look of the car. So, you gotta think about it. They usually have the model out, a regular model out for the first time for quite some time. What are you... Excuse me for a moment. We got a dummy driving right next to me who can't stay in the lanes efficiently. By the way, that's something we're going to be talking about next video, which is lane discipline. And lane discipline versus, well, I wouldn't say versus. Lane discipline, combine it with responsibility of high speed. We're going to get into that next video, but we're going to also get into the topic of dealing with maintenance on our highway system. It's something that needs to be talked about. It's not been talked about yet. We're going to get into that. It's just one little the tidbits that's going to be involved with dealing with the new American Autobahn that I'm hoping to basically bring into the highway system, getting rid of the whole system, going into when I basically start planning for an office run later on. But until that time, basically a lot of the stuff I'm dealing with, I gotta write it down. Some of the stuff that I basically had, it was all in my Note 5 right now, and due to the fact that my Note 5 is basically the screen's broken, I gotta get it fixed. But getting back to basically the updates of the S-Class, the S-Class, basically Mercedes got rid of the V12 from the car. So there will be no more V12, and a lot of that is just due to the European market and the EU's strict regulations when it comes to efficiency. The V12 is no longer a car that they're going to most likely be using in the S-Class. Only the Maybach is carrying the V12. So if you want to basically still have that beautiful sounding smooth V12, that bi-turbo V12 that Mercedes has always been developed, and they're probably the best I've ever probably seen and known about. That's where you want to go. That's, if you're buying a new Maybach, that's where you want to go. Otherwise, you're going to be looking very hard for an S600 or an S65. And where I'm living at, it's very, very hard for you to get either one of those, especially an S65. You'll probably get lucky looking for an S600, but you won't get as lucky looking for an S65. For you to find an S65, you're going to be looking real hard. The probably closest place you're going to get away with probably trying to find an S65 is in Chicago. So, yeah, that's basically the best way I can say you're going to basically be dealing with that. But if you want to get a new S-Class, and you are really wanting to have that V12, that smooth V12 that Mercedes is known for having, to making a superb elegance of a vehicle, you got to go for the Maybach, the Maybach 650, and that's basically just the scale of it. But for the new S-Class that's coming out, and if you're getting the regular S-Class, they are basically doing a lot of changes to that V8 that we are known to seeing in the S-Class. That V8 is planning to become two things: bi-turbo, because it wasn't bi-turbo before, and there's also been rumors that basically the car, when test driving, some people have basically been reporting about it, has been silent in certain areas when the car is driving slow. So this means Mercedes is most likely also putting an EQ system for the first time in the S-Class. And that stuns me. So we're talking about a bi-turbo V8 that's probably going to be making nearly almost 500 horsepower, adding with the EQ boost in the car itself. So equivalently, this car is already going to be reaching the 500 mile an hour mark, and they have no reason to not do it. Because why I say that is because the S63, ladies and gentlemen, the S63 that Mercedes had made, regarding from the last year's model into this year's model, was at 544 brake horsepower. 544, 500, between 544 and 560 horsepower for the S63 for the generation that basically was before the 2014 onto 2020. All right, but the S63 that's out now, okay, following from previously, well, as a matter of fact, I said that wrong. The generation before, excuse me, the generation around between 2006 and 2014 is what I meant to say. But there was basically upgrades between it, so they probably had upgraded it most likely to be around 500, between 540 and 560 horsepower, right around the time when basically they updated the car, right around 2014. So it got the new update on the car. Now, also for people who probably don't know this, the S63 now is not that same particular vehicle anymore. For those who basically not been keeping up, the S63 now has taken over for where the S65 had ran on the horsepower. So, of course, we have the 603 brake horsepower S-Class. When it comes to the AMG, the Mercedes AMG S63 basically now is the new S65. Let me say that again. The S63, the new S63 that's out now, is the new S65. The only difference is the S63 is basically probably got 7 to 8 horsepower less than the S65 would have had. Well, probably about 15 less, but still, it's close. And that's all that matters. But this car, it's got a better It's got a better system, the DCT 9G Tronic speed shift manual dual clutch transmission on this car, and basically this car has the 4-liter bi-turbo V8, which makes it a lot faster. And how that engine's set up and displayed, basically how AMG does it, for the mad scientists that are working at Afflebach, I thank you. That car is a lot faster, and I've seen the run, thanks to AutoTop of how fast that car actually is. And it's faster than anything you would ever believe. People don't really know the full force of how fast an AMG really is. Where I'm living at here in Indiana, compared from Miami or Los Angeles, maybe even New York, people have not seen the real brute force of a Mercedes. Just alone, the S560 is a beast. A lot of people don't realize Mercedes-Benz are nearly similar to Bugattis with a cheaper price tag and a smaller horsepower rating. That's the only difference. And they're elegant, just like the Bugatti has been planned to be for many years. It's just a lot cheaper to buy one than it is to buy a Bugatti. That's what I love about the brand. And basically Mercedes is really good for making making luxury cars that are elegant on a sports car chassis. Simple as that. My S300 that I'm driving right now has the ability to reach 0 to 60 in around 5 seconds, which is probably a lot faster than anybody has ever seen. It's probably got a lot less horsepower because it's a 2008. It's only got around 240 horsepower. They say 221, but I don't really believe the estimate mark because of how Mercedes most likely rates. Well, I wouldn't say how they rate the horsepower, but it's just due to DOT regulations in the United States, which sucks because the Department of Transportation doesn't know half a bit of real safety standards. They just go by what they assume is safe and not by reality of doing tests. So basically they don't know how to basically really implement safety regulations. That's why I'm basically planning on running for office, because this is stuff that needs to be changed for people that basically need to know. But still, I just realized I need to move over. Excuse me, sorry about that. But it's just basically surprising on a lot of certain stuff. But getting back to the S-Class, the things that are going to be changed on the S-Class, ladies and gentlemen, I just told you, the Avant-Garde grille, that bi-turbo V8, okay? Now, but also a lot of people don't really know also what's going to be changed. There's also been rumors that the S-Class, for the first time, Mercedes is probably going to be doing this for the first time, are putting open and closed handlebars on the cars. So your handles for the first time are going to be able to slide in and out, just like the ones on the Tesla Model S. Only difference is I'm pretty sure Mercedes had learned from what Tesla had did with that with those door handles, and I'm pretty sure they'll do it a lot better than what Tesla did. The big problem with Tesla, they do a very, very good car, but somehow they manage to mess it up by not doing proper tests. And I don't care what Elon Musk has to say if he sees this video, but I'm telling you right now, if they did more tests, it would be a better car. And I give respect for Tesla because they have brought a lot more cars to the EV market. I'm not saying I don't like Tesla, and I do. I like their cars. They're probably some of the best cars I've ever seen when it comes to making electric cars. But there's a lot of stuff for them being a company that's basically between around less than 10 years old that they have to learn before they can basically just put cars onto the market, and they don't do that very, very well. They don't check the nooks and crannies very, very well like the European automakers do. And that's what basically happens when these cars are reached into the production market and there's something happens to them and it basically blows up right in their face on YouTube, Twitter, the news, wherever you basically can see an incident involving a Tesla occurs. It's right in there. But that is a lot of the information that I can give you so far regarding from the S-Class. The whole design is going to be changed. It's going to basically still have the torch lights, which is basically, if people don't know, Mercedes-Benz had signaturized this as the torch design. The eyebrowed LED lights that people have seen on the cars is basically what's known as Mercedes-Benz's torch design. It's changed on a lot of the cars, but they've kept it there, and it looks unique for their cars. It looks unique for the brand, and I'm glad that they've done it. But they're changing it up a little bit, and I like that. But this is only the information that I have right now. If I find out more, I will basically bring it up to you. This is basically been the American Autobahn. We talked about car updates here, mainly basically what I kind of like to deal with. I know some people probably have different views on what the cars are, but since I'm a Mercedes-Benz guy, basically I like to kind of get into talking about the brand a lot, and it's probably the best brand that you can ever buy. It's never failed me at all, and I appreciate how Mercedes-Benz takes their time in engineering and designing these cars. But that's all I have today. Like I said, we're going to get into details regarding for basically dealing with maintenance on the highway system, and basically dealing with lane discipline and lane discipline, combine it with speeding, using high speeds responsibly. Okay, hit me up, subscribe to the channel, and basically thank you all for watching. Have a great day.